everybody, and Happy New Year. I am coming to you. I've sped up this video because it has a lot of details in it, but right now I want to do a Valentine project using things I already have on hand, and I'm just showing you some of the things that I pulled out in case I want to use them, which many of them I ended up not using. I pulled out some dies that I have on hand, some hearts that I've already cut out of dies, some of my pre-made ephemera and whatnot, some stamps, some other things. I hope everyone's having a good new year. I haven't been on for a while because I was extremely sick and I could not even talk without coughing a lot. So I am better now, and I decided to do a little Valentine project and see what we come up with. So I decided to use this a fold-out envelope that I had embossed, not embossed. Is it called embossing? I'm sorry. I know I'm saying that wrong, but I used an embossing folder, okay? And I embossed it a while back with some flowers on it. I thought it would make a good background for this, and now I'm just going to use some of these distress oxides and different colors of pinks and reds to bring out that embossing. If I am saying it wrong, let me know, because I feel like I am. My brain is not 100% yet. I'm sorry. I'll just admit it. But I'm taking these different colors of pinks and going over this whole entire folder in different spots, as you can see, bringing out that design so you can see it better. And I chose like 3 different colors of pinks. You can use whatever you have on hand. You don't even have to use pink. But I also chose to use a little bit of that lumberjack red, I believe. Or I think I used the ink though, not the distress on that. And also some vintage photo. And you'll see that in a minute. So I'm just randomly covering with different colors of pink right now. And as I do it, you can see those flower shapes starting to show. And this could be fun. I mean, you could potentially make this as a Valentine card for somebody. It doesn't have to go in your journals. But I'm probably going to put this in my journal. I don't think I'll ever do, I don't know, I don't want to say never, but I don't know that I will ever do an entire Valentine themed journal, just because it doesn't seem like something I would personally use and whatnot. But I think it would be cute to put these in your personal journals. And maybe put pictures on the inside, or little notes to yourself about what you did on Valentine's Day when you're journaling, and different things like that. And you always have that in that insert in your journal as a memory. So now I'm adding some of that lumberjack ink, distress ink. And as you can see, it gives it a little bit more contrast to have that red in there from the other pinks. I mean, if you don't want different colors on yours, you could always just do one color on the entire envelope also. I'm just here to inspire you to make your own makes in the way that you feel inspired after watching this. Now I'm taking my vintage photo, and I'm going to first outline my entire envelope with this vintage photo. I still have a little bit of a residual cough, so I'm sucking on a cough drop at the moment to try to keep myself from coughing through this video. I know there's been a lot of really bad viruses going around right now, so if you are sick, I empathize or sympathize for you. Just keep fighting it. Take everything you know to fight it. Go see your doctor. They'll have suggestions for you. And I hope you feel better soon. So I do go along the folded creases of the envelope on both sides as well to define those different areas better. Now I am putting the vintage photo a little bit on the actual envelope, and this gives it more of a vintage kind of feel, and I feel like it made it more cohesive too, to just put that vintage photo a little bit everywhere. I just like the way it turned out and looked in the end. I have so much things that I have not used, and so I just thought it would be a good idea to pull out supplies that I already have. And I think we all do, any of us that are into this junk journaling. I'm just showing you how that turned out. Any of us that are into junk journaling or doing altered book journals and whatnot, we all get all these supplies, and then some of them just sit there because maybe they're not, appropriate for our current theme, or we think they're not. But if we use our imagination, sometimes we can come up with some things to use them out of the box. They might, something from Christmas might work for Valentine's Day. You never know. So now I'm just doing my, thinking about what I want to put on the fold of this envelope, or the flap part. This is just my process, trying different things, seeing how I like them. I have a lot of these die cut hearts that I had cut out when I first got my heart die cuts, and I have not used any of them yet. And I thought, well, this is the perfect time to pull out those hearts and get them used. So I just used some of my vintage photo to go over that heart with. And now I'm going to put this sparkly gold heart down. I'm just seeing what else might look good underneath it. I go back and forth a lot. That's why my crafting takes so long, because it takes me a while to make a decision on what I like. How many of you are like me, where you just have a hard time deciding what to use? I see some crafters where they're like, oh, they pick up one thing and they're like, oh, that's good, and they just use it. And I have the hardest time doing that. I have to go through like 20 things before I find something I actually like. And 3 or 4 different ways of putting them on. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I like. So I pulled out a piece of scrapbook paper with some handwriting on it that I like, to go behind this heart to give it a little bit of contrast. And in the end, it looks really good, and I'm just ripping those edges to give it a little more interest, and also to make it a little smaller because it was slightly too big for that area. My birthday is coming up in a few days, and my husband decided to get me a cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory for my birthday. It was so yummy, but they were so fattening, so I have to pace myself. It's like 1,000 calories for one slice. 1,000, I think the one I chose was like 1,050 calories for one slice of cheesecake, but it's yummy. So now I'm just using my art glitter glue to glue this down. And I'm going to glue down the heart. Again, I'm using my art glitter glue for that. My granddaughter, she was so funny because I showed her a cup and a picture because she lives in a different state than me, but I sent her a picture of a Valentine cup that I got for Valentine's Day, and she said, "I don't know what you're getting me yet, Grandma." For Valentine's Day. And then she was texting me, so she put a whole bunch of hearts, you know. And I said, "I don't know either yet." I thought it was cute though. She's like, "Hint, hint. What are you going to get for me, Grandma?" So I put this black heart on top of the gold heart. And then I believe next, I liked how that turned out, but I still need to do some kind of closure for it. Well, first I decided to go ahead and figure out what I'm going to do on the other side. I was thinking about using these little figures, and I wanted maybe him and her to, like him giving her a bouquet of flowers or something, and her holding up her umbrella, but I decided they were a little tiny bit too big for this, and if I were going to put the flowers in, and the umbrella was just a little too tall once she was holding the umbrella, so I decided not to use these pieces, even though I thought it was a cute idea. But also if I had him holding a bouquet of flowers, they would have to be teeny tiny, and I didn't have any to scale at the moment, so I just decided to go with a different option, which you'll see in a minute. I love those though. I want to do a Mary Poppins scene with those eventually. Okay, so this is what I decided. I pulled out a gold heart and a black heart, and I pulled out some lace and some trim and some Tim Holtz figures, some Tim Holtz little people, vintage people. And I thought they would look really cute on there. I decided to use that pink trim there to go. I used it on the heart. I actually ended up using it on the heart to give it some more fluffiness and just interest over there. I think this is called eyelash trim. So it's pink eyelash trim. Anyways, I put it around that heart there. And I did pull out some pink lace as well to kind of put behind those little kids. And I just thought that looked really cute. Now I'm just gluing everything down. I'm using my 3-in-1 glue for this part. Mainly I'm using that glue because there's a lot of texture in these papers, so, and I'm using eyelash trim and different things, so I just thought the 3-in-1 glue would give a better grip to everything. And I'm putting down that lace. It's hard for you guys to see it, but it does add some interest, and it looks really delicate and cute behind those people. I'm getting a little bit more eyelash trim to put on the bottom of the heart. Now I'm just gluing that down. I would like to hear from you guys. Do you like these sped up versions better so that you can see all of what's going on quickly, or do you like real time better? Let me know. I sometimes prefer to speed everything up because my videos can tend to be quite long when I am trying to make decisions on what to do. Maybe I should make the decisions before I get on camera, but sometimes I just like doing spur of the moment crafting things and want to share them with you. So in that case, that's why I sped it up, so that you don't have to sit there forever through all my decision making. And sometimes it helps me with my creativity if I don't have to talk while I'm crafting, and I can later do a voiceover and show you what I did and just go over what I did. But let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you prefer? Now I was thinking about using this paper heart, and I thought it was cute, but it ended up being too flimsy. It wasn't enough to hold that flap down, so I took it off, and then I decided to go with a thicker piece that you will see in a second. These are chipboard pieces so that I had, and I'm just going over which one I think might work, but they're a lot more sturdy to hold that flap down because this envelope is not real thin. It's kind of more on the, thicker side. So I needed something a little more sturdy to hold that flap. And I ended up going with the first piece that I pulled out, see? So if I would have just went with the first piece, then I would have been okay. But that's how I am. I have to try several things before I make my decision. Now I just glue half of this so that the other half the flap can go underneath. And I'll let that dry for a few minutes before actually using it. But that's how it will look in the end. That's how it will function. Now I am going to the inside of this, and I decided to just decorate that pocket down below. I left the other flaps without anything on them so that maybe later on I can put a picture there or something, or whatever I feel like doing at the moment when I am actually using this piece in my journal. I'm just going over different options of what I can put down there. I decided against the chipboard piece just because it adds more bulk. It's kind of thick, so I decided to go with one of these little black hearts again and a white heart, because that kind of ties it in with the rest of what's going on the outside of the card, or the outside of this little fold down envelope. Now I'm going to add a little bit of lace behind that. I'm just trimming off what I don't need. And then I am going to go ahead and glue those down with my 3-in-1. And I kept it pretty simple with those 2 hearts and that lace. But I think it turned out really cute. So that is it as far as what I did with this little Valentine flip open envelope. I hope you guys like this tutorial, and I hope it inspired you to make your own. This is just the finished result. I thought I would show it to you up close. All right, that's it. You guys take care. Bye now.